Hey guys, I got fucking. I'm still fucking dying, but I got fucking bored. So, I mean. the, Why the fuck did I turn on the video? What the fuck did I have planned? My brain is all fucking fuzzy. I've had vertigo today too, which is not the symptoms of flu or cold, so I don't know what the fuck that's about. I might have two things. Y'all guys want to hear something gross? Anyways, why the fuck did I make this video? Huh. Alright, I guess I'll just keep this on here, and label it some weird shit and then put it in a video later.
SpiderMan, I've got a lot more missing students. The debate club never showed for a meet today. All vanished at once.
A coordinated attack. Things are escalating. What's their last known location?
The club president, Harold, showed up in a tourist's photo stream.
The Brooklyn Bridge is definitely in this photo. That's southeast of the university. The Brooklyn Bridge is in the southeast corner of the island. I can head to the eastern shoreline and go... The Brooklyn Bridge is definitely in this photo. That's southeast of the university.
We got this, Spider-Man. Thanks anyway.
I'm just sitting here, minding my own business, and it seems like God's sending out nerfs and buffs. He seems to be buffing the squirrels and buffing the virus and just nerfing all of humanity. It's like, come on, man. This is not balance. There's some freaking... I keep running into suicidal tree rodents anytime I try to cross the road in my car. But apparently, there are some homicidal tree rodents as well. Like, come on, man. Someone just got absolutely obliterated by a fucking tree rodent. That doesn't happen. That shouldn't happen. Like, what the fuck? Buff humans, please. So fucking, they need to send in the nerfs for these tree rodents. I mean, to be honest, if it's on me, I have a high pain tolerance. So if it's on me, I'll just grab it by the neck and then remove it from my hand and then snap its neck. Seems pretty easy. I mean, yeah, it would startle me, so it'd probably injure me a lot, but high pain tolerance. Just fucking snap its neck, my dog. My dude. I'm not gonna snap your neck, Diva. Stop doing that. But... like, what the fuck? Send in the buffs, please. It added like a +3 to, or like a +3,000 to aggression, and like a -200 to self-control, and just sent it to the fucking squirrel's brain. Let's be real, 2020 is weird, and that's how they're gonna end the year, is just with tree rodents killing people. Fucking, we got the murderer hornets. The homicidal tree rodents. It's like, what the fuck, man? This isn't a fighting game. Achieving balance should be pretty fucking easy. They just evolved with a They're not even, like, endangered animals. Except for the one that I almost ran over with my car, but it was retarded, so it's fine. I don't know if I should cut that, because that came out way wrong. I didn't mean the implication that had... Yeah, I'm gonna gauge reaction on this video and delete it if I find it necessary. Because that came out wrong on so many levels. So, like, I don't know if I want to keep that in, but, yeah, the point of the story, send in the buffs. We need humans to be buffed a little bit. They're a little fragile. I mean, freaking, you fucking get a human in one of its very weird arteries and, it's game over, but these fucking squirrels... Like,
Okay, the people of... Need to get through these demons quick, before Lee gets a hold of the anti-serum.
Hey, so this is my review of Spider-Man for the PS4. And guess what? I want to put some Miles Morales footage in here, but I don't know if that would make any sense. Because this is just Spider-Man, not Miles Morales. I will not talk about that game whatsoever, so probably best that I don't do that, I guess. But I kind of want to. Fuck it. But hey, I finally have footage of Spider-Man. I've been making all these videos, and none of them have had Spidey footage whatsoever. I mean, some of them had Marvel vs. Capcom, and you'd see Spider-Man every now and then. But finally, just straight up Spidey footage. So I'm reviewing the game now. Personally, I have a few gripes with how the story is structured, or not how the story is structured, how the game itself is structured. It's simple restructuring, I think, but I don't really know how you... I guess it's not a simple restructuring. I don't know how you fix this. It's the same problem I have with Batman Arkham Knight. Except with Batman Arkham Knight, it's fucking ridiculous. With this, it's very easy to get past, but it's still a problem that needs addressing. So, one... can I, like... Alright, cool, I can. So, one, you know, in Batman, Arkham series, you have Riddler trophies you need to find and track down. Well, that's easy in Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. But in Arkham Knight, they're fucking everywhere, and you have this huge-ass hub to explore. But then suddenly, no main quests. Like, what the fuck? If you do the main story, or no quests whatsoever. If you do the story in all of the levels first, because that's the more interesting stuff, naturally you'd want to do it first, you have nothing left to do except for go from point A to point B looking for them trophies. Also, some people get stuck on a lot of areas. I commend them for having, you know, the interest in getting those trophies. But I get comments all the time on my videos about, like, hey, can you help me with this? Hey, can you help me with that? And, I love helping people with those, right? It's sort of the community thing. But it just goes to show, that they're looking for ways to, I think, they're looking for ways to get that over with. They don't want to do that anymore. So they're looking to videos and, you know, other people behind the channels to help them figure that shit out. So yeah. If you guys have problems with Batman or Spider-Man, comment down in the description below. I will help you. I'm just making it known. This takes up way too long for people to just continue doing it on their own, I think. And so, by the time this video goes out, I've probably 100%ed Spider-Man. But to this day, I still haven't 100%ed Arkham Knight. I've 100%ed Batman Arkham Asylum, and I'm close to 100%ing Arkham City. I've just got hung up on a few things that I can't quite figure out. So I'm doing it again from, you know, scratch. I will video record me 100%ing those games at some point in the future. But right now, that's not really an option. So, yeah. Or it's not that it's not really an option. It's just that I'm not doing that right now. It is an option. But I'll probably wait till, like, the weekends or until I have a lot of time off of work, because with work, I fucking can't. That's a can't. My physical therapist used to say, like, you never should say can't. But, there's a thing called work-life balance. They talk about that in Miles Morales. But anyways, that's not gonna work. So, because one is life and one is work, and I can't go putting all my effort into life and then not have any left for work. Just that works. You don't have a life. But yeah, so but it's problematic the way that game is set up. But all of these games are set up. There are too many damn trophies to collect. I mean, honestly, in the next Arkham game, which, I mean, hopefully that's not what Gotham Knights is going to be, because I am looking forward to Gotham Knights. It's going to be, I'm hoping, a different take on these characters gameplay-wise. Keeping the fundamentals in check, sure, but I'm really looking forward to something new. I'm still hoping Batman's going to be in the fucking game, but I'm looking for something new. I've played the Arkham series. I've played it to its... I've played the Arkham trilogy, which in my opinion is Asylum, City, and Night. I have not gotten to play Origins yet, despite wanting to. There are so many things about its availability that just piss me the hell off. So, I have not played it. But, yeah, re-release that shit on Xbox One or PlayStation 4, or, more realistically, Series X and PlayStation 5. I am fucking there. Right now, I'm not. So, Arkham, or just in general, these games, I don't like that there's so many trophies. I don't like that there's so many collectibles. I don't like, dude, the collectibles in Spider-Man, I think, are great. I really have no problems with that. Outside of what's not really collectibles. But to meet completion criteria, you have to go and wait for crimes to happen. And from what I've found, sometimes crimes will happen on repeat, the same ones. And you have to go stop them and do the same fucking thing and not get rewarded for it. So I'm sitting here waiting for RNG to load me a crime. For instance, defend the feast truck because people are trying to rob it and kill the driver. And that crime just doesn't occur. It should be occurring, but it's not. Instead, I have to go do a car chase. But I already did that car chase. I get nothing out of doing it again. I don't want to do it again, but I straight have to. That could be not a thing that's happening. And I don't know how this is for the remaster. Hopefully they got it nailed down. I think the crimes are cool. It's like a cool system. Is that helicopter problematic for this? Should we continue? I've switched. I waited until the helicopter. Oh, it's gone. So, the crime system is a really good system. I think there are too many. There are 5 crimes of each category, per like subsection of the city. Sorry, I thought I got called. So, per subsection, there are 5 crimes. I think they should lower it to 3. Because, in my opinion, there's not enough that causes it to differ. And even after I've done everything else, and I have never ignored a crime in this game. Not once. But after I've done literally everything. Oh, by the way, I have the footage to prove it. So do not fucking at me. You can say it's a glitch or whatever. Don't white knight for this game. The game's great. I'm not saying otherwise. I'm just airing my grievances with it. But the crimes get repetitive, and there's not enough that differentiates them, to be honest, in some areas. And then, honestly, sometimes it seems to be popping in the ones I already did. Now, granted, they're so repetitive that the only reason I would think that I already did them is because it tells me, when I go to do them, that I've already met the requirements for the bonus challenges. And I would think that the game would let you redo them because it has the bonus challenges in the first place. It'd be weird if you just cleared them all and then there was no crimes. Because they have bonus challenges that are kind of crucial to getting those bonus outfits. Or those suits and stuff. Now, what the fuck? What am I trying to do here? So, the crimes. The way they're set up, I would imagine that they would let you redo them. And the fact that it's saying I've done some of them when I've met the requirements and I'm not getting rewarded when I'm redoing them, tells me, yeah, either shit's fishy or that's how it's supposed to be. But I would wish that it would not let me redo them until I finished all of them. Because grinding, you have to just sit there or explore while it's, until it pops up. And that's not fun for anybody. I can't imagine, like, yeah, web swinging is fun for a while, but it's even more fun when there's a reason to do it. Like, fuck, I have a car now, right? And so I've been driving it. And driving a car doesn't fucking work if you don't know where you're going. I mean, yeah, I guess you could just drive off into the sunset for a minute. But honestly, if I don't have a destination in mind, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. I've been speeding a little bit because to be frank, some of the shit here in Killeen is just fucking stupid. You have even fucking stop signs that are blocked by a fucking tree. You have streetlights that are constantly going out, and so you have to do an uncontrolled intersection or something like that. I mean, the other night there was a fucking blackout, and sure, that one was weird. That had nothing to do with the city. That happens everywhere, I'm sure. But, you know, so, one minute there's light, the next, it was like a fucking EMP went and hit, except it didn't affect the cars. And then, there are, like, where I work, I guess I shouldn't try to stay too much, someone could track me down, and that could not be good. Where I work, they have all these signs everywhere, or they don't have it, fuck, I'm mixing up sentences. So, where I work, when you're on your way over there, the speed limit signs are obscured by fucking trees. And then there's nothing marking the turn-in, and the turn-in, it goes from 45 degrees, 45 miles per hour, and then as you're turning, you're expected to slow down immediately to 5 miles per hour. And I never saw I'm trying to keep pace with other cars rather than paying attention to the speed limit, because at least that way I know I'm not going to harm anyone. And again, all the signs are blocked by fucking trees. Like, prune that shit every once in a while, man. Oh, also the streets are covered in potholes. Our streets are kind of fucked, let's be honest. The pandemic, I'm sure, hasn't helped, but this doesn't happen just because of a fucking pandemic. This shit can be controlled. I mean, dude, the city kept finding the shit out of us while when our house was on fire back in 2016. because of our grass being the wrong, or being at a really bad height, there ain't shit we can do about it. We're not even in the same town anymore because our house almost burnt to the ground. You expect us to come all the way out here just to mow our lawn? If you expect us to be doing that when our house is on fire, then you can fix your damn city during a pandemic, motherfucker. But yeah, you reap what you sow. Anyways, with that tangent in mind, when I'm driving and I have no idea where I'm going, I often am not familiar with the speed limit and everything. That becomes a hassle. And then I have no idea where the fuck I want to go. What direction do I go in if I don't have, So, having this car driving it around is fun when I'm like, alright, let's go to McDonald's or let's go to Chick-fil-A, which is, we don't even have a Chick-fil-A near our house, which is fucking a shame. Gotta travel I think 20 miles to get to the nearest Chick-fil-A. Or let's go to work, that's pretty cool, but when I'm just driving and I have no idea where the fuck I'm going, that ain't that fun, It's the same thing with Spider-Man's web swinging, is you don't have a whole lot of control when the crimes happen or where the crimes happen, and until they pop up, you have nothing to do. The web swinging is super fun when accompanied by a drone chase, or accompanied by chasing Screwball or Black Cat. But it's totally lame when you have nothing to do with it. It's like, alright, cool, I'll just swing by the city. I'll swing by the sanctum waiting for a crime to happen. Actually, I have a video of that. I don't know if I'll be able to put it in this review, but I even took a selfie. I was wearing the Scarlet Spider Mark II suit, and I took a selfie while I was waiting for a crime to happen. By the way, the photo mode in this game is awesome. I've been taking a lot of really cool photos. You can't really take, so in Batman Arkham Knight, it has a photo mode, but it's not bare bones, because I've seen bare bones, and it's not bare bones. But back in 2016, when that game came out, I think, is when that game came out. When did that game come out? I keep attributing everything to 2016. Batman Arkham Knight. I am the Knight. 2015. Okay, so yeah, at least I went and corrected myself. You know what? It might have been Batman Arkham VR that came out in 2016. But, yeah, Arkham Knight's photo mode was the first time I'd ever seen a photo mode in a video game. I was like, whoa, what the fuck is this? And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then the more I got into it, I was like, oh, this is awesome. But then I sort of fell out of it. I was like, what more can I really do with Arkham's photo mode? However, with Spider-Man, and you're definitely going to see this in, the video is titled PS4 Pro Edits number 4. I'm making it right now. No, number 5. I'm doing it right now. And I put all of the photos I had taken at that point, into the video. The, Sanctum Sanctorum, photo is not in there because I've edited the video together completely, but it's taking forever to export. And I took the photo during the... I took the photo like 5 minutes ago, man. Well, that's not true. 5 minutes ago I was making the video, but you guys know what I mean, right? Like, during the export. So, it was like an hour ago. But hey, we're doing it now. Everything's gonna be cool. Back on topic. The photo mode in Spider-Man is totally different. Like, it gives you more control. There are more options. The photo mode in Miles Morales is slightly better even. I'll get into that later. Again, this is just Spider-Man. So, I mean, dude, like, you got games like Spider-Man Friend or Foe, Spider-Man on the Atari, and Spider-Man 3. But Insomniac's Marvel's Spider-Man, the photo mode and just the gameplay are leaps ahead of anything I've ever seen for this character. I think Arkham Knight might still be a better game. I'm like going back and forth on that, honestly. That could be my Batman bias. Everyone knows about me and Batman. But I'm going back and forth, honestly, because there are parts of this game where I'm like, damn, you can't get that anywhere else. And then there are parts of this game where I'm like, Arkham did it better, but alright, whatever. Takedowns in this game, better than Arkham. Because Arkham's takedowns are kind of repetitive. And in Arkham Asylum, anyways, I haven't played City and Night in a while, so I'm going to get back to that later. But as I was doing my Asylum radio, I was like, this is kind of repetitive, and it does slow down the game a little bit. It doesn't... It's not like super noticeable until you really think about it. But yeah, you punch a guy, you take down a guy, then, when Batman gets back up, there's a split second where you can't attack, and, you know, so even when you go back to attacking, the pace is lost. I'm pretty sure that was fixed in Arkham City, making everything smoother, but in Arkham Knight, I don't know, because it's been forever since I played that game. But in Spider-Man, that's not an issue. It's so fucking smooth. Takedowns are better than ever. They look good. They do a dynamic camera angle. Dude, half the time in the Arkham games, I can't even tell what Batman's doing, because either the animation is really weird, or the, or Batman is, like, sort of obscuring his own animation, right? Because the camera is looking at Batman from the back, and so you just see Batman's arms moving around. Like, you can tell Batman's breaking his leg, or breaking the enemy's leg, but beyond that, it's like, alright, what's he doing over there with his arm? I've watched enough movies, enough Batman movies, and enough just anything movies, to realize, oh, so he's gonna grab that guy's arm, straighten it out, and then smash it, causing it to bend the other way, which is not good. So I'm like, alright, so I know what he's doing, but I can't see what he's doing. Most of the time, takedowns in Spider-Man have a dynamic camera angle. I do not know what causes the lack of the dynamic camera angle in Spider-Man, because it doesn't always, but most of the time it does. Sometimes it slows down, or like you go into slow-mo, and you get a camera angle. Most of the time it doesn't slow down, and like maybe 10% of the time it doesn't even have the camera angle, and I don't know what that's about. It's not a problem or anything, it's actually kind of cool, but I don't know what the fuck that is all about. So, in combat, you have a bunch of moves and gadgets to use, And I think the combat aspect of the gadgets are more useful than in Arkham. But, in Arkham, the gadgets also served functions outside of combat, whereas here they don't. And the gadgets that you can use, you have to pull up a menu in order to fire them. I think in some regards that's, smoother than Arkham trying to figure out what fucking combination of buttons does what. But at the same time, it's harder to try to figure out or like not it's harder to it's less convenient because you have to pull up a menu, and it's like GTA switching a gun. It's like switching a gun in GTA. Fuck, I cannot speak today. And so each pro has its cons, but it's not the worst thing ever, right? Like that is a con I'd gladly take over, but I just wish I had the option to do both. Like, alright, press LB and square. That kind of shit would fuck me up because it's still taking me time to get used to the PlayStation buttons instead of the Xbox. I've fucking grown up with Xbox on everything. I'm given a PlayStation controller and I'm like, what the fuck is this? But, outside of that, the, press L1, and I keep saying LB and RT, but press L1 and square, and you'll throw out an impact webbing or something like that. Both. That does not work for Miles Morales' control scheme, so that probably won't happen, but with the addition of Miles Morales, I think it's justified to not have that kind of control. However, I do think Miles Morales introduces a new problem, which I'll get into next time. Now the story. The story I really liked. I thought it was actually probably some of the best Spider-Man story. It was probably the best Spider-Man story I've seen in a while. Better than Spider-Verse. It's the story here starts out kind of like Transformers-esque, where it's like bare bones and there's not a whole lot of character to it. But after like 30 minutes, the story starts to ramp up, and you realize that, oh, well, this first 30 minutes was to set up the rest of the plot, set up the characters, establish their relationships, and give a whole good versus evil sort of thing. Whereas in the later parts of the game, the story ramps up, the stakes get higher, and the characters go in their logical conclusions. I'm going to review the DLC in this game too, by the way, because that's, fuck it. I'm not gonna, if Miles Morales is gonna have DLC, which I'm gonna look up pretty soon, I'm not gonna review it until the DLC is out, because I want to review the complete packages. That's how I am. I don't want to review, like, if I want to make a Miles Morales video, I'll be like, not so quick thoughts, like Ultimate Alliance 3, for instance. That's what I did there. I'm more of a completionist type of guy when it comes to reviewing a package. Not necessarily that I'll fucking play Dark Souls 47 times to get each item that's, like, exclusive to a certain playthrough. Not that. But I'm the sort of wait until Lego Batman 3 has all of its DLC and then purchase all of it and then review that kind of guy. Like, I don't even need to 100% complete something for it to do a review, but I have to have the full package for me to do a review. That's not something I'm putting on other people. That's just something I'm putting on me because that's how I am. You can review your game however you want to review it. That's how I'm going to review it, okay? That sounded rude, but I did not mean it as such. So, anyways, the first boss, this was a pretty bold decision, I thought. Because I stayed away from the game to every degree as much as I could. A post-credit scene was spoiled for me, but, you know, the first boss, and this was ballsy as fuck. The first boss was Kingpin. You know, I thought, oh, well, it's Kingpin. He'll be out of prison in like a day. He's getting out, and he'll show up later on. But he never does. And that's actually the plot of the game. Like, basically, he's created a power vacuum. That's what I mean, it's very Transformers-y. It's like, Spider-Man goes after Kingpin, and that's the end. But then, you know, all of the different mobs start, like, whooshing into the fray. And then you have the demons. And Martin Lee. And it's still quite Transformers-y. You take down Lee, and you're like, alright, well, that's, like, the end of the game, I guess. It felt like the end of, like, a season of Arrow or something like that, where, you know, you spend all this time building up, and then you take down the big bad, off to the next season. And the next season is in the same game, so that was really confusing. But then it turns out that Lee is in league with Otto Octavius. And Otto Octavius, you're like, that guy? I'm familiar with Spider-Man. I knew where his story was going, but I didn't think it was going to go there immediately. I thought that was the next game. Because if you look, it felt like they were setting up something, and then they're just like, whoosh, Otto Octavius. It was like, I didn't expect your betrayal so soon and so suddenly. I expected your betrayal, but not yet. It's like if Eggman set a trap for Tails, and then fucking, you know, Sonic springs the trap. Eggman's just like, I knew I was gonna have to deal with you, but deal with you now? No, I didn't think I'd have to deal with you right now. Your trap is over there, so where the fuck is Tails going? It's like, I was ready for you, just not ready for you now. So, you know, Spider-Man, when the Sinister Six lineup, I was like, alright, so we have the Sinister Five, where's our sixth member? And then it's Otto Octavius, aka Dr. Octopus, and I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? I'm probably gonna have to put spoilers in the title or something. Sorry guys, I got carried away. So, Spidey, you know, from that then onward, he's like going after, each group, and eventually he has to go after each of the bosses. And what I like about this is the bosses are not one-on-one. I kind of wish you could fight all of them at once at one point. But I guess that option Spider-Man would know is suicide. And, yeah, so you fight them in groups. You have to fight, for instance, you fight 6 of them at once, I believe. Or you fight 2 of them at once, I believe, is how it goes. I can't quite put my finger on it, but it's, the first one is, because I don't remember who accompanies Doc Ock. If anyone. But you fight Vulture and Electro at the same time, which was really cool. So you have to micromanage your options and stuff. And then you fight Rhino and Scorpion at the same time. I think the Vulture one is more interesting because both of them are, like, in the air. Whereas Scorpion and Rhino just felt like it was kind of mashed together. Like, they make a deadly duo, let me tell you, but it's just really weird. There's not really a gimmick that goes to both of them, I feel. I guess you could say the same about the Electro boss, but, you know, that's kind of weird. And then the next one, I actually don't quite remember how you deal with, Martin Lee. Maybe that's a cutscene or something? Because I know how you fight him the first time. But, yeah, I can't remember him accompanying Doc Ock. But Doc Ock is, yeah, he's a fun one. He, really, it's just kind of, it's more that the boss is sort of an emotional thing, because there really isn't much that goes into the boss of Doc Ock. You kind of just do, you wipe him up, you punch him in the face, you wipe him up, you punch him in the face, you wipe him up, you punch him in the face. It was kind of, not lazy per se, but it was definitely a small scale. And you get the suit, the Antioch or something like that. Ock Killer? I can't remember. But it looks cool, and then I like how it looks when it gets damaged and shit. And there was an oh shit moment like that I had when I was playing that. Like, because right at the end, and this is heavy spoiler because this is like fucking the end of the base game. Right at the end, you have basically, you know, the thing that was going to stop the arms is if Spider-Man could just get behind Otto and pull the arms out of his head, then he's not going to be able to, you know, do any stupid shit. But, because that's how they're connected to him. And so him and Peter worked on those arms together. And so, you know, they know, or Peter would know how to stop them. Ock knew this, or Doc Ock knew this, so he put, he put in some sort of failsafe to get them to work without the connection. I don't really know how that works. But as soon as the arms were still online after being pulled out of his head, I was like, whoa, wait, does that mean that he knows? And then he says, that won't work, Peter. And I was like, whoa, fuck. Spider sense tingling. I was astonished. Just, could not believe it. And it was so surprising. Like, at the beginning, like, that's just for me. And maybe, you know, the game set it up kind of. It wasn't completely baseless. Peter sees that, so Peter thinks that, you know, Otto is out of the lab, so he's gonna go in there and fix up his suit, because Kingpin damaged it earlier. And he makes the, you know, incredible suit that you get later on in the game, or that you get after the first mission. But it's, you have, you know, the classic suit, but then the one with the white spider that everyone hated when they first saw, I was like, get the fuck over it. The one with the white spider, whoa. it turned out that, like, you know, Doc Ock sees Peter making the suit, and there was something about the performance that was really weird, but he just says, like, makes sense. You wouldn't have told me, because if people knew that you were helping Spider-Man with his suit and his gadgets, that, you'd be a target too, potentially. And there was something about the way he said it. I was just like, that's strange. But I totally thought that that was what he was going with. You know, that's actually what he thought. And then at the end of the game, he's just like, hi, Peter. You're Spider-Man. I know this now. And it's like, ah. So, yeah. So this wraps its conclusion. Otto Octavius kills Aunt May. And I was like, oh, fuck. You know, that sucks. And then Miles gets bitten by the radioactive spider. Or it's not even radioactive anymore. This time it's just, like, weird genetic testing and modifying. So now there are two Spider-Men, sort of. The DLC does not show anything for Miles, which kind of sucks. But, speaking of the DLC, we have Spider-Man fighting Black Cat, and I thought that was awesome. They never actually go into fisticuffs. And this whole time, Black Cat is claiming that the Magia, this mob family, has her son. And so Spider-Man's like, oh shit, that could be my son. And I was like, whoa, you hit that? Wow. Wow. And so Spider-Man's like, so what about that? And she refuses to converse on the topic. I was like, that's weird, but understandable. And, yeah, the more I was playing that DLC, I was like, Spider-Man, are you stupid? She's lying to you. And then, you know, she was lying. And, yeah. Oh, one thing I should elaborate on. The post-credit scene that got spoiled for me ahead of time is Harry Osborn is now being bonded with the Venom symbiote. And it seems like Venom is a project that Norman Osborn, Green Goblin, was working on. So they're going with the science-y route rather than the sci-fi route. In the comics and in the movie, Venom is an alien. Not like a science project. I'm fine with either, honestly. And sometimes, I think, depending on the stories they're going to tell, the science route is actually more interesting, because him being like a weird science project, that lends itself to a sort of story where multiple Venoms can come out and attach themselves to different people. Like Spider-Man Web of Shadows, that whole game, there's a shit ton of Venoms taking over New York. They even take over Wolverine and Daredevil and Moon Knight. I have not played that game, so I don't know if any of those are actually accurate. Aside from Wolverine, I know that one. And, so, you know, multiple Venoms makes the science route worth it. But if you don't do anything with the science route, then, like, why'd you even change it? So with the sci-fi route, yeah, nothing really crazy that they can do. Except, now that I'm thinking about it, they kind of ripped off the Aliens franchise. In the comics, Venom is an alien. And, recently they explained, like, the creation of Venom, even though that is totally not necessary. There's this god of darkness, Null, who wanted to block out the sun and kill the god of light, so he created, these Venom things, and one of them was Venom. That sounds like Prometheus. I have not watched Prometheus, and I have not seen anything past Alien 3, So, I have no idea. But from what I've heard about all these different things, that sounds like Prometheus. Anyways, yeah, the sci-fi route, science route, whatever. But it does seem like they're going with the science route. I could be wrong. He could be a fucking alien. But how come the game didn't set that up in advance? It makes way more sense to me that this was a science project that Norman was working on to cure Harry of the sickness. Anyways, back to the DLC. Black Cat, gives, Spidey a chase, run for his money, literally, and, they chase, and then, Black Cat seemingly dies in an explosion, and I got the achievement by Felicia, which is a reference to that movie, Friday. Don't know if you've ever watched that, it's a good movie. And yes, Friday, 1985. 95. It is a comedy drama with Ice Cube. Yeah, I was trying to make sure that was his real name, because that sounds stupid. And Chris Tucker and John Witherspoon. I don't know who most of these people are, gonna be honest with you. But it's a good movie. Not my type of movie, but I enjoyed it, so I'm sure most people probably enjoyed it. Now, anyways, bye Felicia. That completely took me out of this whole, Black Cat's probably dead. Because I was immediately like, you seriously gonna fucking joke about that? I mean, if Spider-Man actually said it out loud, I'd have been like, oh, I wouldn't have thought about it. But I read the achievement down and I was like, are you fucking serious? So, yeah, I laughed out loud. I just described a lol, and you're not supposed to do that. That's a crime against humanity. So I apologize. Do not smite me. Yeah, it was just so funny to me for some reason. And, so... yeah, the second DLC doesn't even mention Black Cat, which is really weird. But, she's pissed off the mobs, the Hammerhead and some other gang specifically. I was really hoping to fight Jigsaw. I thought that would have been really cool. Or even see the Punisher, because it's a mob boss gone rogue. The fuck? And so, yeah. And in this DLC, Spider-Man teams up with a bunch of people with a bunch of cops, and all of the cops get slaughtered by Hammerhead. Hammerhead has he wants to become a god, and he sees the way that he can become a god is first by becoming inhuman, not like, Lockjaw or Crystal or Medusa or Black Bolt inhuman, but more like, getting rid of his humanity in order to rise above it. It's sort of like Akuma from Street Fighter. You guys know him? He's pretty cool. So, I'm going to lose my voice tomorrow, and people are going to have to ask me to speak up, and I'm like, I'm fucking speaking up, okay? But basically, he wants to put his humanity behind him, so he gets this exosuit, and, he sort of mechanizes himself right at the end. After Yuri turns into the Punisher and goes rogue. And, one problem I have is how the DLC ends. I've 100%ed all of the DLC.
I'm on my way. Are you hurt?
No, I'm fine. Just hurry.
Going as fast as I can. What are you doing at GCT?
I'll explain later. Listen, Lee's going to release the Devil's Breath.
You gotta get out of there.
He's not gonna do it until Norman Osborn gets here.
Wait. This must have been Lee's plan all along. Make Norman responsible by forcing him to release the Devil's Breath himself.
Sort of makes sense, in a twisted, psychotic way.
Okay, I'm here. Coming into the terminal now. Anything I should be on the lookout for?
Looks like he's got some drones patrolling. Guess he's prepared for you.
Don't worry, I'm in the ventilation system. Can you see a safe exit point?
Southwest corner.
On my way. If I get any closer, the drones will spot me.
See that tablet I'm looking at? That controls the drones.
Think you can snag it?
Yes, if you can distract them and not get shot.
I'm ready. Tell me when.
Okay, I'm ready.
Incoming.
什么？谁敢的？
Okay, move.
They're not gonna take me without a fight. 想当英雄，
Wait!
MJ, what are you doing?
Let's all just relax.
停，不然把你也毙
Listen, I'm a reporter. I have a direct line to Mayor Osborne. I can help make sure he arrives on time.
好。
First, let him go.
李先生，这记者说他知道怎么找到奥斯喷。
遵命。
把他带到这边来，跟其他人分开。李先生马上就到。
They're coming. Jump over the railing.
Uh-oh.
Drones, get to cover. You still got that tablet?
Yeah,
Better work fast.
okay. I got this. Come on. Come on. Almost there. They did it!
Good job. Now let's get you out of here.
What about the Devil's Breath?
I'll come back for it.
No. We're partners, remember?
Can we argue later?
If we don't help those people, they could die.
So could you. I can't let that happen.
No. No, I got myself into this. I'm getting myself out.
What do you mean you got yourself into this? I don't like this. There's too many of them.
Then let's start taking them out. Quietly. They're still too close.